Oh, hello there. Today, we will be conducting a Solomon's 4-group test. Thank you for your attention. Solomon 4-group design consists of having 4 groups divided into 2 sets. Set 1, groups 1 and 2, experience both a pre-test and a post-test. Group 1 is an experimental group, so it will take a pre-test.
Here we have with us James McGregor. James, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no happiness at all, and 10 being as happy as you can possibly imagine, how happy are you right now?
Some people don't know how to answer our questions.
Well, William, I think that we owe most of the victory today to my teammates. I'd like to thank God, the Lord God. He really wanted us to win that one today. And in the end, we came out on top.
He still gave us an answer, though.
So how happy do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10?
Maybe a 6.9.
Go through a manipulation, and then take a post-test.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy do you feel right now?
You should put a leaf on you. Why I would have to change my answer to an 8.
Thank you, James.
Group 2 is a control group for Group 1. It takes a pre-test, goes through no manipulation, and then takes a post-test.
Here we have with us Thomas Blute. Tom, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the no happiness at all, and 10 being as much happiness as you can possibly imagine, how do you feel right now?
Yeah, like a decent 7. Yeah, life's good. Life's good. It's beautiful fire, by the way.
Hey Tom, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no happiness at all, and 10 being the most happy that you can possibly imagine, how happy do you feel right now?
I'm a decent 7. Yeah,
Thank you, Tom.
anytime, man, anytime.
Set 2, groups 3 and 4 do not take the pre-test. Group 3 is experimental, which means they will go through manipulation and then they will take the post-test.
Here we have with us Noah Kirsting. Noah, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no happiness at all, and 10 being the most happy you can possibly imagine, how happy do you feel right now?
Probably like a 3.
Alright, thank you, Noah.
Finally, group 4 is a control group, which means they will get no manipulation and the only thing they do is take the post-test.
Here we have with us Alexandra Blessing. Alex, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no happiness at all, and 10 being the most happy you can possibly imagine, how happy do you feel right now?
About a 4.
Alright, thank you, Alex.
You're welcome.
For this design, our research question was, does a silly act affect happiness? We operationalized silly act as the IV, having a present or absent leaf on the researcher's head. Our dependent variable was happiness, which we operationalized on a step scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being very low happiness and 10 being the most happiness possible. This was a true experiment because of our manipulation of the IV as present or absent, categorically. Having a categorical or nominal independent variable and an interval dependent variable, we can then analyze this statistically using regressions, correlations, or t-tests, or ANOVAs. The best way to do it though, or at least I would recommend, would be a 2x2 ANOVA, in which the first 2 are people that took the pretest, and the second 2 are people that did not have a pretest.
Some of the limitations we have in our study are Hawthorne effects. Because the participants were being filmed, they were aware that they were being studied, that could have affected their answers. Also, we had demand characteristics. One of our participants knew exactly what we were doing. James was like, because you put a leaf on your head. So that could have changed his answers. He knew we wanted him to be happier because we put the leaf on top of Buckley's head. Because happiness is such a subjective term, their definitions of it could have been very different. Thomas, for example, was focusing on number 1 being extremely sad. So his answer was 7. Whereas Noah could have been thinking about number 10 being extremely happy, so he decided to go lower. They all looked at the scale very differently and their definitions were different. Another limitation to our study is that the internal validity is not that good because of extraneous factors. For example, when James was mentioning how he won his game, that was an extraneous variable that made him very happy at that moment. Another limitation is that we used a convenient sample, which is not always representative.
The reason we use this design is to test the effects of both the manipulation and the pretest. Because set 2 does not have a pretest, we can control testing effects. We can observe if set 1 was affected by the pretest and if their results differ from set 2's results. Also, group 4 shows history effects. Since they take nothing but the post-test, we can see whether or not anything we do makes a difference.